to Expanding Your Search with Brent and Jodi Bailey. We are growing our circles of connection and knowledge with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jodi welcome
Christian business coach and somebody we've known for a really, really long time. Lindsay Graham is here today.
And now, here are your hosts, Brent and Jodi Bailey.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is Expanding Your Search. It's Brent Bailey. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. We got a great show for you today. Lindsay Graham is here. And no, not that Lindsay Graham. It's not the senator from South Carolina. It's Lindsay Graham that we've known since she was a little girl. And she grew up in our youth group in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But now she has become somebody who has been an organization specialist in helping businesses achieve lots of organized things, social media, things like that. Right now I'm heading over to the tech booth where Jodi is standing by. And,
Hey.
you know, I remember the first time that I met Lindsay. She was like in 6th or 7th grade. And she was like this little small firecracker in the youth group. So now she has her own business where she's consulting businesses in order to help their organization and in order to help with their really circling down on what it is they're trying to get done. She also has really been instrumental in helping a lot of folks adapt to the next phase of social media, Snapchat,
Yes.
TikTok, things like that. Now, she's not a social media expert, but because of what she does, it kind of helps them get into that. So I'm really excited, really proud of her for doing what she's doing, and so we're going to be talking to her in just a little bit about that.
Yeah, she's always been a really happy person, really energetic. And I actually went to ORU with her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was
going
there at the same time.
Yeah, Annie Cogshaw was there at the same time.
I think maybe so. We had
a lot of kids that were in the youth group.
Yeah, Christy Redmond anymore.
Yeah, Lazinski.
Yes.
and of course, Annie Cogshaw is now not
Married
Annie Cogshaw. She's married to
Colton Dixon.
Colton Dixon, yes, and so she's Annie Dixon. So.
Yes.
And she's kind of famous now herself. So anyway, Anyway.
Yes.
So let's jump in and talk about what's going on around the world and around the country
today. Well, today it is. There's several today, but I'm going to say this one for sure. National Authors Day.
Well, thank you.
You're
very
welcome.
Much. I received that.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Happy Author Day, babe.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. This is a day to go ahead and you know what? Get out the favorite books by some of your favorite authors, and go ahead and start, catching up on some of the books.
So who are some of your favorite authors? That's the question of the day down in the comment section
Yes.
below. Go ahead and tell us who's some of your favorite authors, what's some of your favorite books.
Yep.
And let us know.
I've really been enjoying reading the novels of somebody we had on the show, Liz Lazarus.
Yes.
And she does these crime, drama, suspense.
Of course,
type
we've
books.
also she's not the only author we've had on.
We've had several
David
authors.
Porter on last season.
We have, yes.
Who also wrote a novel.
Yep.
So
yeah, we've had a ton, and really, I mean, we've had a ton of
a lot
authors,
of Christian authors as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I mean, it's too many, almost too many.
So we wish them all a happy Authors Day.
Yeah. And today is also National Brush Day. Now, that does not mean brush your hair.
Paintbrush?
No, Brush Your Teeth Day.
Oh, gosh.
National
If
Brush
you're not doing
Day.
that, something's wrong
Listen,
with you anyway.
And you know what? Our not necessarily just our kids, but kids in general a lot of times they need to be reminded.
Do you remember growing up and having the campaign of the Cavity Creeps and the Crest team and
yeah.
And then there was the Toothbrush Gang on Captain Kangaroo.
Yes. I mean, really encouraging.
There's a whole family of toothbrushes.
I don't think they
taught
really
you how to brush your
teeth.
teeth.
There's bound to be some kind of a TikTok video or.
Well, they don't do it as much anymore.
No, there
but
should
that was
be, though.
It was a big deal when we were growing up. You know, there was the cavity creeps. We make holes in teeth. We make holes in teeth.
Exactly.
And then there was, that whole family of toothbrushes that sang that little song, "Brush your teeth."
Right.
Round and round, circle slow, up and down. I mean, it was just, I remember it to this day. So
brush your teeth.
Yeah, so good. Brush your teeth day.
Yep. Also, for food, it's National Calzone Day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you like calzone.
No, we don't really do calzones.
We don't do it, but you like it.
I love
Doesn't mean you
calzones.
don't love it.
It's a pizza folded on top of itself. I guess we could do them if they were plant-based.
Yeah, I'm telling you, everything's plant-based. I mean,
I wonder if they make a cauliflower crusted.
Well, listen, they
calzone.
do make cauliflower crust pizza.
So why couldn't
they do a yeah. So somebody out there, let us know if you know of any places that.
And
do
some of you that are saying
healthy.
that sounds gross, I'm just going to tell you right now,
It's
they have made
good. It's
huge
really
advances because they've started using not just cauliflower crust, but they put a little almond flour in there with it, so that it's not as overpoweringly cauliflower taste.
Right.
It's not bad. It really is not bad at all.
Not at all. Gluten-free. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So, and like I said, we do have a lot, so I'm going to keep moving on. It's Deep Fried Clams Day.
That's good. That's Preston. That's right up Preston's
likes
alley.
clams,
Yep.
and that's why I wanted to make sure to include that one. So if you are somebody that likes clams and you want to try them out deep fried, there are lots of restaurants around. I'd say around the country, not necessarily just in Florida because we're closer to the coast. To go and get some clams and ask them for them deep fried. You'll probably really enjoy them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it's also, so we're talking about food.
Yeah.
National Cook for Your Pets Day. Now, this does not mean table food.
Yes.
It means cook for your pets. Cook. Now, you will be making, food for them. I know somebody that years ago, I don't know if she still has dogs or she still cooks for her dogs, but she cooked for her dogs all the time. Every day, like gourmet food.
Okay.
And, you can use really good, healthy ingredients that, regular food, vegetables, chicken, and make it homemade so that the preservatives aren't in there and the dogs are a little bit more healthy that way.
Well, I know that they sell some, pop the top kind of canned stuff.
Yeah.
For dogs, but now they're starting to make it in rolls like what comes in the
yes.
Like ground beef.
Ground beef, yes, just like that.
And it looks like lunch meat. It literally looks like lunch meat. So.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll just mention one last one, kind of goes alongside of the Author Day. It's Family Literacy Day.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay.
So it's a day to, it says read together as a family, and just go ahead and even if it's a matter of just sitting down for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Read together. Choose a book with your family and read something. I'm sure that years ago, you see pictures, and I remember times of sitting around, and my dad would be reading the newspaper, or my grandfather would be reading the newspaper, and we're sitting there, and we're, maybe we're not all reading, but we're participating and listening as he would read. So, read with your family.
All right.
So that's what I got for the day.
I found an interesting article today about, and I think this applies to probably more than just us across the board, how to organize your refrigerator. And it's the right way.
All right.
Now, how many of you out there would admit you just literally throw things in the refrigerator just to get it out of the way? Doesn't matter. Just wherever I have room for it, this is where it's going. And
I'm not admitting it because at first I don't. I have a purpose, but then I got to admit.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
no, I have a place for everything.
Yeah, we've all done that. We've all done that. Here's the correct breakdown. We're not going to go into details and everything. You should have a leftover shelf that's just for leftovers.
All right.
That way it's easy to throw it away. When it's not eaten, you can just get it out there.
Yeah.
Have a leftover shelf. All condiments go in the door.
Uh-huh.
All right. Then, now, how many of you have that problem with some of your vegetables that just don't last? As soon as you put them in there.
Yep.
We have, since in this new refrigerator we have the, the fruit drawer and the vegetable drawer, and they have the vents on them. You should keep the vegetables closed and the fruit one open.
Yeah.
But for long things like celery and things like that, stalky vegetables, celery, asparagus, leeks, use a vase, like a flower vase.
Okay.
And then after the flower vase, you just put a little bit of water in the bottom, and then you can take it from there. All right. Then there's also something called a snack station. You want to do that, where it's just snacks, smoothies, things like that. And then obviously a dairy section. And then something, this sounds fun, the party shelf. This is where you're going to put all your sweet stuff. Your jelly, jams, stuff that, are going to be something people just want to get real quick in and out.
Yeah.
All right. And the last place is a protein shelf.
Oh, okay.
Where you're going to keep all your things that are healthier, protein. And if you want to read the full details of that, you can go to foodbeast.com and look for it there.
Yeah,
That's what's going on around the country. Let's jump in with our guest today. Lindsay is here, and I can't wait to talk to her, so let's expand your search. My guest today is somebody I've had the pleasure of knowing since she was a sixth grader. She has grown up to become quite the business person. She has worked as a director of operations and business development for two big companies before starting her own consulting business, Momentum Consulting. She lives in Oklahoma with her husband and her two daughters, and she specializes in business organizations and operations consulting. She's helping business owners create processes and workflow in their business. And I can't believe that this is the same person that I've known since she was a child. She is a mover and a shaker, and I'm so glad to have her on the show today. Please welcome Lindsay Graham. Hello, Senator. How are you?
Right. I know. Everyone says that.
I was arguing with myself the other day because I still, of course, know you as Lindsay Carr. In my memory, it will always be that. I know you're married, and I know your husband, and I know your kids, and I was going, it can't be Lindsay Graham. That's the senator. And I kept arguing with myself, and I almost talked myself out of it. So, but man, that's got to be like bonus traffic for you. Like people accidentally find you, right?
Sometimes, yes. I mean, I think they remember it more, and they'll say like Lindsay Graham, the senator, and I'll be like, hey.
So, well, let's catch up first. How have you been? What have you been up to? I know you're raising kids and being a wife, but before we get into the business, what else has been happening?
We're currently closing on land, so we're going out. We like that stuff. We like the chickens in the gardens, and even though both my husband and I are super corporate minded and are not ditching business, we love that. So we're closing on some land and raising the babies and just having fun. We love being together. My husband and I have a lot of the same hobbies, and but we're very busy, but everything's very intentional. So
that's awesome. And your mom and dad doing good? Everybody well there?
Yeah. Everyone's good. Everyone is literally in the exact same spot. I mean, in a good way. So whatever you do them as, that is their same. They are the same people. So
well, I had your dad in class when I was working on my degree, and he was a teacher, and I had only been around him as your dad, because I was your youth pastor. Mm-hmm. And so I never got to really experience Bob until I got into the classroom with him. And he was a fun teacher. I mean, I loved being around him. So I'm so glad to hear that they're still going strong and everything's going well.
Yeah.
So when you see them, pass them along greetings from me.
It's his birthday tomorrow, so we're doing a birthday celebration. So.
Oh, well, happy birthday. That's awesome. So you have to pass that along for us. Lindsay, I feel like a lot of times when I open up social media these days, there your face is. You're popping up a lot, and you're doing some really good coaching for business owners and things like that. And I have personally sat and watched and gone, okay, I'm going to use that because that's really solid stuff. I want to start by saying I'm proud of you. But secondly, tell us a little bit about your consulting company and what is it that you actually do?
Right. So really it starts with there is a blend, there is a harmony of your God-given skills, and then also it really tugs on your heartstrings. And truly, I have found that. And that is my desire for everyone to find. But when it comes to that, I have a God-given ability to create processes and organization. I honestly am not the visionary. That's business owners. And that's not always their best skill set. And then my heartstrings are, I believe that God has given us visions and goals and desires, but he didn't call us to live in chaos. He didn't call us to always be overwhelmed with it. He wants people to succeed and he wants them to live this abundant life, but there's not supposed to be chaos. Now, owning a business is one of the hardest things I've ever done, and I'm not going to negate that, but it's not supposed to be extremely overwhelming. So what I do is take those visionaries, and they have goals and they have dreams and they have ideas, and we're adding in some strategy, some consistency, some processes, standardization, metrics, all of those things that are needed within a business that is not always necessarily everybody's goal or skill set. That is what I do.
So where did this passion come from? Why are you so passionate about that?
So my background is in mental health. I did behavioral counseling for years, and I honestly bucked the transition into management for a while. I worked at a clinic that I naturally found myself creating processes and procedures and standardization. And I continued to say, like, stop, that's not what your degree is in. Go do what you're wanting. But in the end, it married together. My heart has always been set on those that life abundantly, the life not overwhelmed. And so I found myself in the director's seat there pretty quickly, and then it just kind of went from there. And I found that I can't go 10 minutes without talking business, not my business, but just business in general. I'll be at dinner and I'll be like, hey, they do this because of this. Oh, wow, I can see their process. Like, I just love the mechanics of business, and I love business owners when they are enjoying it, because that's the goal.
And sadly enough, I guess enough of them aren't. And that's why they need somebody's service like you. All right, so let's break it down a little bit. We have businesses that obviously they have these internal operations and procedures and things that they're supposed to be doing. And a lot of times people get sidetracked with the external things, the people dealing with the people out here and or something else that pops up or whatever. Why should they take the time to prioritize these internal things first?
Right. So really it comes down to operations and business organization is the key. And I will stand firm on that platform. It is the key to consistency, quality, and scalability. Every business owner wants to grow and scale, and I will be the one to say you will not scale unless you have your processes in order, because you will end up running your business reactively. And when we are running reactively, you will stay in that overwhelmed state.
Give an example of that. Give an example of somebody running reactively.
So customer service, you need to have a process for customer service. When you get bad reviews, when you get products sent back, when you get those type of things, whether it's service or product, you have to have a system that you run them through. What does that system look like? Or you're going to take every single one and you're going to be reactive to it. The other part of it is that if you are a solo business owner or you have a team of 100, you have a way that works. And if you don't have it documented, how are you expecting your team to communicate the same standard that you started your company with, which made your company grow? That is why some of these companies start with these one-man shows, and they're amazing. Their customer service was amazing. Their quality was amazing, and they grew, and it tanks because nothing was standardized.
And so when somebody, let's just say, for example, somebody in their customer service doesn't have that process down, they're kind of shooting every situation differently. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, the customer service, they're shooting everything differently. If they are somebody that needs to source products, you need to have a standardization that you're looking for. So how can you ever delegate if you don't have things standardized? Because I am a really big person when I meet with these people, with these business owners, I start to see that they're wearing way too many hats. And that can't happen. You will not succeed in business and you're not going to enjoy it if you're always wearing all the hats and you have an inability to delegate tasks. And that comes down to processes.
All right. So what's some of the things that people, I know we don't want to give everything away because we want people to come and see you and we'd love you to get clients from the show. But what are some steps that people can take? I mean, if you say you're going to standardize something, what's a step to getting there?
Right. So really the first step and like the action step that I would tell people today, and you will hear in if you follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, or you're a client of mine, I probably say action step like every couple of minutes. And the reason is because everything that I've said thus far is not a crazy concept. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about, and everybody knows that they need to do it. It's the how. And it's the wall that they're consistently hitting. And so what is the action step to get forward? And so that's a big thing of mine in even my social media that I would tell people, like, follow some of the action steps. But today, one of the things that people can start with is an audit of their business. So some people may be sitting here and be like, I got my process and procedures done. That's good. And I want to say, great, I'm so happy for you. But if somebody walked up to you today and said, I love what you're doing, I want to duplicate it in another market, in another country, and I'll give you half the profits, could you say at that moment, okay, here's my binder, here's my digital how-to, and exactly how to do it? And I'm talking exactly. And if the answer is no, you need to make processes a higher priority.
Okay. My toes are getting sore right now. You're stepping on them. Okay. Excellent stuff. All right. What does it look like working with you? I mean, if somebody was to bring you in, how does it break down? What does it look like?
Right. So I meet with people on a weekly basis for 1 hour. It's very important that it's weekly because there is too much stuff that goes on in between for a week for a business. And so I meet with them on a weekly basis, 1 hour. When we start working together, it's a lot of dissecting goals. And when I say that, I want people to know I'm not like, let's make your goal board. I'm talking, we dissect and intricately break apart those goals to where it gets all the way down to the nitty gritty of what needs to be maybe assigned an exact date, or what needs to have consistent, like what needs to be done weekly, monthly, quarterly. So breaking those goals down. Once we get that kind of consistency in their schedule set that they need to work on, we start creating those processes. A big part that people don't have is roles and responsibilities, defining those within the company. And then every single time that we work together and we meet, I'm trying to bring strategy, consistency, and accountability. So as somebody who currently runs multiple companies and has worked internally, the hardest part of owning a business is when you sit down to work, there are 500 things that you need to work on. And it's like, what do I need to focus on? And so with these business owners, I want them to have that time where they're looking at that to-do list that we honed in on, and that's what they work on that week. And they're going to start to see this snowball effect because there is too much to work on in a given time. And I'm never going to negate that. So I want them to be able to sit down and bust out some of these things, still have to do their normal stuff because that doesn't go away, but bust out these projects, these documentation, and then build on it every single week. So a lot of accountability comes in. I get kind of mean sometimes, but
and I could totally believe that. All right, how do you come about that list of to do, for those folks? I mean, is it listening to what their heartbeat's going towards, or I mean, how do you focus in on?
I'll be really honest. This is probably the hardest thing that I have run into, thus starting a consulting, because I have worked internally, meaning I know exactly what needs to be done. When it came to consulting, I was realizing your business is very individualized, and the market really wants to push blueprints, and I am very, very against blueprints because I'm not coming in saying these are the 5 ways you got to do things.
Yeah.
I want to know, what are you trying to accomplish? What do we need to be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly? What do we need to assess? What metrics do we need to be tracking? What decisions do we need to be making? And all of that comes from listening. And I am an outside source. So a lot of my meetings say, okay, and then what? Okay, and then what? Because sometimes when you're so close to something, you can't break it down. You can't define it. So a lot of that is me going, and what's the next step? Okay, I have no idea what you just said. So what's the actual next step?
And this sounds like something that I know several people that could benefit from something like this. Okay, and I don't want to spend too much time here because I know you don't claim to be a social media expert, but the reason I had you on the show is because of what I see you doing on TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram. And there's a lot of folks that jumped on when Facebook was coming on board and have really done fairly well with those kind of social media, Twitter. But the new stuff is really starting to freak people out, and it's really slowing people down to jumping on to the next, unless it's something stupid. You know, I'm going to do this dance challenge or something like that. And I'm like, is that really necessary? But what you're doing is completely different. Talk just a little bit about adapting TikTok and Instagram and those things into that.
Absolutely. TikTok is not a dancing app. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion, what something started as or what got popular. That doesn't really matter. It literally has an entire section of business to business and business to consumer people that are blowing up because, and this is the only thing, I don't care if it's TikTok or leaf on a tree, whatever the new one's going to be called. We are a society that is ready for short form video content. That is the main thing. It doesn't matter if it's Instagram, YouTube Shorts is a thing, Pinterest, pins are a thing. It's all, if you look at all of them, it's short form video. One, I think that the brain has changed into their attention span. And we've just found that we can grab tiny little bits of value in 15 seconds, and that's what people crave. So when it comes to TikTok, it is an incredible platform. I cannot stress to you enough how amazing of a platform it is. Your growth ability, your reach ability, your community building, the way you can funnel to your website, it is incredible. So it doesn't matter what you sell, what you do, what your service is, it is a platform for you. And you can curate it straight to your people. And your people are on there. I don't care if somebody says that they don't watch TikTok, you're going to start watching TikTok because it's infiltrated everything.
Yeah.
And so it's short form video. It's what value can you give, and what can you show about yourself that someone knows that they want more. That's the whole purpose.
Folks, our guest today is Lindsay Graham, and as you can tell, this is like drinking from a fire hose. You need to schedule her for a real consultation to see if this will work for you. We're going to put some information up on the screen right now because we want you to be able to benefit from her expertise. There it is, Momentum Consulting. Notice this, no website, all social media. Right there, you can reach out to her through Momentum Consulting Company on Facebook, Momentum_Consulting Co. on Instagram, and Momentum Consulting on TikTok. I promise you, her videos are not just dance challenges and stunt challenges on TikTok. They're informative and actually very attention-grabbing, especially for people that are looking for small nuggets of business knowledge and wisdom. Lindsay, I am so proud of you, and I'm so happy that you're doing so well. And we're going to have to schedule a consulting session very soon.
Love it. I'd love it.
Have a great rest of your day. Give our love to your kids, your husband, and your parents, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Bye.
that's Lindsay Graham, everybody, and now let's stop for directions. You know, I heard Lindsay say something today that's so true. She said, God is the source of our strength and our vision, but God doesn't call you to live in chaos. And that is so true. The Old Testament prophet Habakkuk said, "Write my answers plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others." You know, being organized isn't about making the workplace more labor intensive. It's actually about making everyone's life easier. The great vision that God is giving you as a leader is not just so that you can do all the work because you're the only one who understands it or you're the only one who sees it as important. The vision needs to be broken down into bite-sized chunks so that people can pick up their piece and run to make it happen. This is what someone like Lindsay does. If you're a CEO, you're a visionary leader, you're an owner of a business, are you finding yourself frustrated? The key lies in on-purpose delivery of organization for your people to run with. Now, I'm going to say this, and this may bother some people, but doing this is not a stifling of the Holy Spirit. It is not putting God in a box. It is not limiting the power of the Holy Spirit. People that live with that excuse are people who are, frankly, too lazy to put the work in and make their organization organized. That seems harsh, but I'm talking to myself because I've had to walk that a bunch in my own life. Organization is the key to make the dream God give you come to pass. Get organized today. If you have to hire somebody like Lindsay, hire them. Allow them to break your giant vision into pieces that your team will want to pick up and carry. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. My thanks to Lindsay Graham for stopping by and being with us today. I still can't believe that's the same little girl we met all those years ago. Coming up, we've got more great guests on the program, so you'll not want to miss a single episode. My thanks to Jodi over there in the control room for doing a great job. And until then, I hope we've helped you find what you were looking for as we expanded your search today. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @expandingyoursearch on Facebook and Instagram and @expandingsearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We are available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire.